Online Video Games here, and if you watched my previous videos, I was recently talking about the PlayStation Vita coupon, how if you get the PlayStation Vita first edition limited bundle, you get a plethora of items for an additional $50. That includes the PlayStation Vita case, a memory card. I think you can play it a week early. You may get something else, but I guess it wasn't significant enough for me to be able to remember it. So, in addition to getting those items, you also get the game, and you get the game that was Creatures or Animals. It's one of the launch titles. I forgot the name. And you also get Uncharted Golden. I think it's spelled ABYSS. So I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce something that I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to bother pronouncing a word where I shouldn't bother trying to pronounce a word that I'm not 100% sure how it sounds if it's pronounced out. So Golden, ABYSS. I guess you could say, spell it out. Now, I also talked about my previous video, which is the one after the PlayStation Vita video, how I got this 3D display, so now I can play games apparently in 3D. This could also be used as a monitor. It comes with motors from Apocalypse, a 3D glasses, the HDMI cable, $300 plus tax, so that's $321. And being able to get Uncharted, the other game, the case, a memory card for the PlayStation Vita first edition limited bundle, and you apparently get it a week early if you're getting the first edition limited release bundle. That's a coupon for Best Buy for I think the gamer rewards on Gamer Club. If you use a coupon to reserve the game, you can get Uncharted completely for free. So that's $350 plus tax, still expensive as shell. But something I want to talk about was getting an NES. Now, I guess you could say the upper left-hand corner of your screen and the lower left-hand corner of your screen, that's pretty much my shelf of consoles where the blue bunny is, where the blue bunny stuffed animal is, and the consoles that I currently have include OnLive. OnLive is basically video game streaming, similar to Netflix though, and you could either get a play package or you could buy them individually. I bought Duke Nukem individually, and it came as an OnLive console for free, so not a bad deal, although I think in PAX 2011 they were apparently giving them away, so they went from $100 to being free. But if you didn't get the OnLive console, then you could get a Game Pass for another game, so you can stream them even if you have a super slow computer and maximum settings. All you need is a super fast internet connection, so it doesn't matter if your computer is, essentially it doesn't matter if your computer is going, I guess you could say 1 mile per hour. As long as you have a fast internet connection, then you get to play those games with I guess you could say I'm trying to think of the perfect phrase to phrase this thought. You could play those games with lightning, or I guess you could say this lightning response times and maximum graphics, because I think it streams the games from their servers, which I think they run their games on maxed out settings from their computers or something, and then they stream it to your monitor or screen, or however it works. It connects to their servers. But that's OnLive for you. Let's move on. I also have the Super Nintendo. I got that. That's my most recent console that I purchased. I got that after I got OnLive. I got that, I think, in February 2011 or March. I have the Nintendo 64. That's the first home console I ever purchased. I also have a bunch of handhelds, but those handheld consoles are separate from home consoles, because those are the ones that I use on the go, and I usually don't play those at home. Then I have the PS3, the Xbox 360, the PS2, the Xbox, the GameCube, and the Wii. So the only, I guess you could say, iconic console that I'm missing, one may argue that I'm missing the Sega Genesis, but I have, I think, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, or Sonic's Ultimate Collection, which is supposed to come with 42, I think, Genesis games that you can play with the PS3 remote. So if I get one of those if I get more of those collection discs in the future if they come out with this new Genesis collection disc. Then I have more Genesis games to add to the pile without having. I don't have to necessarily have each individual cartridge to own those games. I mean, if I have 42 games on Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection or Sonic's Ultimate Collection, then I have 42 games. Just because I don't have 42 discs doesn't mean I don't have those 42 games, because it's just more convenient if I can play them on one disc as opposed to somebody else. So I'd have to constantly switch out the cartridge. And it's possible to, I guess, compress those games to one disc, because the files are super small compared to the files for the modern day games, because the Blu-ray disc are scratch resistant and they can hold multiple gigs of storage, maybe 6 or 7 or 5 gigs or something. So what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, so the last console that I was considering purchasing until I may purchase a Wii U, Xbox 720, PlayStation 4. I'll probably get all the next generation consoles, 3 main ones, and I'll probably get the PlayStation Vita as well, but that's something that I use on the go and try not to use it at home when I have consoles that will probably deliver a better experience than handhelds, because they usually offer a lot more content and a lot more features as opposed to handhelds, which are just supposed to be used on the go and when you don't have access to your home consoles because you're not at home. So the last console I was considering purchasing was an NES, so I'd probably purchase it at OnlineVideoGames, and everything I got from OnlineVideoGames so far that I played and tested it looks like it's in mint condition and it works perfectly, which includes the Super Nintendo and those games. And what else is there? So getting an NES is probably going to be the 10th console that I purchase, and I'll probably get it later this year. And I'll probably try to get the pack that comes with maybe. Actually, no, I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'll probably just get an NES, and some games that I'd be interested in purchasing include Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. What else? Maybe Contra. Maybe one of the Metro games. I have a bunch of the Mario games, so if I have the Mario Anniversary Collection disc, so I don't want to purchase the same game twice. So I'll probably purchase a Metro game. I also have the Legend of Zelda Anniversary Collection for the GameCube or whatever it's called, where it comes with a 4-disc. It's the 4 games on one disc that include the Ocarina of Time. I think the Legend of Zelda 1, 2. I think it comes with 4 or 5 games, and then it comes with Majora's Mask, I think. And I also have the Wind Waker. I have yet to beat these games. I have Twilight Princess as well. And what else was I about to say? I don't want to accidentally purchase the same game twice, so I have to be careful what I buy. I mean, I'm on a budget here, and I don't want to waste money by purchasing the same game twice. But I saw the Nintendo play Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, and those games do look challenging, and I guess they're supposed to have terrible controls, but who wouldn't want to? I guess you could say duel Freddy or Jason 1-on-1. I mean, I guess you already can in Mortal Kombat 7, but there's no other game where you could play as Jason Voorhees. I mean, not play as Jason Voorhees, play against Jason Voorhees, so that seems, I guess you could say, that seems as though it would be a great idea for the Mortal Kombat game, and they could add Jason Voorhees, but I'm probably going to get Friday the 13th because I've seen a bunch of the movies, and I guess it's supposed to be a classic game that they're going to tell them reviewed. I'll probably get Nightmare on Elm Street as well because I've seen a bunch of the movies. I've probably seen all the Friday the 13th and all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and it's supposed to be a classic game that the Igor Nintendo Nerd review as well. What other games may purchase? Maybe one of the Metroid games. I may purchase less to the unlikely. I may just purchase a bunch of the games that the Igor Nintendo Nerd reviewed. I may purchase Silver Surfer. So I'm unsure what I'm going to purchase though, but the games he reviews, they look very challenging, and their original games that are part of the video game history. Well, every game is part of video game history, but they're, I guess you could say, more of the launch title games, meaning they may have not been released the second the NES was released, but if you want to look at it from a, if you want to look at launch titles from a yearly perspective, and they are some of the earlier games that were released. So they were basically the launch titles that will probably continue in video game history. In other words, in 1,000 years from now, if you look back though, and you want to use those games, if you want to look at those games as launch titles, I guess yearly launch titles, I guess it would be a nostalgic idea, because those were some of the first, meaning out of hundreds of video games released, as opposed to, as somebody said, 1,000 years from now. Then I could use the same argument too, but in order for 1,000 years in the future to be a significant time frame, then I guess they could use their argument for 2 million years in the future, where they were saying that the video games that came out in the first 1,000 years are nostalgic, I guess you could say, titles of multiple centuries. But I guess in the next 100 years we'll be able to say that the NES games were nostalgic, yearly launch titles. So I'll probably get an NES, and I'm not sure which games I'm going to get, but probably Freddy Krueger and Friday the 13th, but I'll try to keep you guys informed as much as possible. So thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts, feel free to leave those ideas in the comment box below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later on OnlineVideoGames. Signing out.